starts round 3 of the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. The cars are all there, I think. Yep, green flag at the back. 5-second board has been shown to the drivers. Red lights will come next, and then round 3 of the championship gets underway with some drivers making better starts than others. Jason Rees is a bit slow away, but as they arrive at Copse Corner, it's Paul Cook who takes the lead. The poleman's dropped back some margin, hasn't he? Paul Bailey.
A long way back.
There's one that's gone spinning. Is that Andrew Pywell in the 328i, I think it is. So he will be able to rejoin at the rear of the field. Warren Hales went for the pit lane, so he sorted out the bonnet issue. And it's Paul Cook that arrives at Beckett's, leading. Ronan Bradley locked up on the oil there. There's a few cars getting quite sideways on corner exit. There's some cars not on the circuit at all. It's still quite slippery up there, I think.
I think that was Robert Reed that was going particularly wide there at Beckett. But yes, that fluid down is going to be a feature of this race, I think. So it's Paul Cook that leads, Charlie Dart in second, Mike Eustace third. I think Paul Bailey was somewhere outside the top 10 as they went through the first few corners. We'll see where he comes through at the end of the lap. Still the battles going on further down the order as the leaders are about to come through Woodcote Corner to complete the first lap of Paul Cook with a decent sized advantage here, but very close for second and third between Charlie Dark in the 235i and Mike Eustace, the Brands Hatch race winner. The gap that bound to Ronan Bradley, who's fourth, Stephen Schweikart fifth, Jason Rees in sixth. Paul Bailey came across the line in 10th behind the top two in Class M2. Theo Millward and Cavan Granger separated by about 7/10 of a second, but Paul Cook a second ahead as second and third arrive at Beckett's, and it is still, it is now I should say, Mike Eustace that's got ahead.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? I wonder if Charlie Dart was going to fight back though down the Wellington Straight. Can't quite make it. So as they battle, Paul Cook is getting away. Sean Foley's GTR in strife at Copse Corner, though it appears. And a challenge behind this battle. Stephen Schweikart was alongside Ronan Bradley for fourth. They're still side by side. And Charlie Dark having a good run in this M235i, going after the Brands winner. One of them's run wide though, and that was Mike Eustace, the Brands Hatch race winner, through the gravel at Luffield Corner. So his second place didn't last long. Charlie Dark is back through, and Eustace therefore has 3 cars going after him. Ronan Bradley, Steve Schweikart, Jason Rees. It's yellows at Copse, so everyone's got to get in line.
Yeah, now overtaking through that part of the circuit, that's where Sean Foley's car was off and still is off onto the tarmac runoff. He's not made the gravel trap. We'll see if that car needs responding. Warren Hales doesn't have a working transponder. I wonder if that went flying with the bonnet earlier on. Anyway, there's Paul Bailey. So he's coming back now. He's in 7th position. He's sort of catching the group of cars ahead of him, which is the sort of third backwards scrap. Mike Eustace to Jason Rees. So we'll see how Paul Bailey can get back in this race, because he was narrowly on pole position by a few thousandths of a second. Paul Cook, though, in the lead in this race now, getting on for a 2-second lead. Very deep into the corner against Mike Eustace, and Ronan Bradley gets the car sideways. So I wonder if this fluid around, a bit further around the circuit as well. Did Ronan Bradley get going again? No, he's just, I think, managed to keep it out of the gravel trap. Yeah, he's able to rejoin, having had the rear wheels on the grass.
Paul Cook's lap was 2 seconds slower than the previous one, so even more fluid going out on the circuit. This is a weird day from that point of view, isn't it? But there is Paul Bailey, the pole sitter. He's up to 5th now. He's past Jason Rees. Sean Foley's car might remain there for the remainder of the race. No, there's a Snap vehicle heading up to move it. It's a 2-second margin Paul Cook has over the pack. And yeah, this car's sliding around everywhere, isn't there? It's a tricky track to race on today at Silverstone, which is quite unusual really to see what is happening over the course of the day. But Paul Bailey's through, isn't he? Up into 4th, he's ahead of Steve Schweikart.
Yes, he is now, so he's done that on the exit of Beckett's and along the Wellington Straight. So next up, he's going to be trying to take the fight to third place driver Mike Eustace, and is already nearly with him as they head through Luffield for the 4th time in this race now. So Paul Bailey on pole. I didn't really sort of see what happened to him at the start, but it was very bad. It dropped him outside the top 10, I think. Paul Cook leading, but on that lap, Charlie Dark took a couple of tenths out of him. So the gap's gone down to 1.7 seconds first to second, but then it's another nearly 4 seconds back from Dark to Eustace in 3rd position. Now we're going to be watching whether Eustace can be caught and passed by Paul Bailey once they get back into a green flag part of the circuit. Of course, yellow flag's protecting that recovery operation at Copse Corner. There's Eustace, there's Bailey, who takes a tighter line through Beckett's. Does he have the momentum now to get into the toe of Eustace? It looks like he might be able to make a move into Brooklands Corner. He's pulling alongside on the Wellington straight. Looks like he's got a bit more power and goes through on the inside line to take third place.
Yeah, that was fairly straightforward really, wasn't it, for Paul Bailey, the newcomer to the championship. And he turns into Luffield up into a podium position now. There's plenty of time. This is a longer race of 20 minutes in duration to catch those ahead. And of course, lap traffic is going to come a factor. If the yellows are still out when they catch the back markers, that could get complicated. And that's what's happening already, isn't it? Charlie Dark there in second cannot pass the slower car, and that margin of 4 seconds to Paul Bailey just going to be shattered all in one corner, and there's nothing that Charlie Dark can do about it.
No, so he's going to have Paul Bailey right with him as they get back into a green flag part of the circuit down towards Beckett's, and look, that gap has come right down. They're right together now, Charlie Dark and Paul Bailey, as they're back into green flag running, and we've seen that Paul Bailey's strong at this part of the circuit. Again, gets a decent exit from Beckett's. Charlie Dark, is he going to try and protect the inside line? No, I don't think he is. Paul Bailey not yet electing to go down the inside into Brooklands as he did a lap ago to get past Mike Eustace, so he stays in third position. So it's Paul Cook leading, Charlie Dark second, Paul Bailey third, Mike Eustace in fourth position. For the M2 class lead, that's Theo Millward from Cavan Granger still in 8th and 9th place overall, and class 6 is being led by Paul Travers from David Aspen. Paul Laramie, who was on class pole, has dropped back to 6th within that class.
There was just 35 thousandths of a second between Travers and Aston at the start of the lap, so the class 6 battle is one we could have a look at as this race goes on, I think. Battle for second is now 5 seconds behind the race leader, and Charlie Dark's doing a good job here, the 33-year-old from Buckinghamshire, just across the border, who's raced 6 C1s, but also raced this car in the Club Enduro Championship in the past with his father Michael, who raced at Brands Hatch in it. And he's doing a good job to keep the pole. Well, he was doing a good job to keep the pole when Paul Bailey at bay, but he braked too late at Brooklands and he's given away second position to Paul Bailey. So the pole man is back to second, and he runs a little wide at Luffield. Now, has the yellow flags gone in? If they haven't, they're going to catch the back markers. But Paul Cook in turn has got different slower cars that he's going to catch. I'm not sure the yellow flags are out anymore actually, so well done to the marshals once more. Track is clear, so that means Charlie Dark can fight back. It's very busy as they pass the cup class leaders, which has got Shane Tweedy just ahead of Will Graham. That's the battle for the cup class. The second place battle is trying to find its way through.
Yeah, so down towards Maggots and Beckett's they go again, and Charlie Dark trying to get a position back from Paul Bailey there. Then there's Mike Eustace just behind Paul Bailey's 58 years of age actually, a stuntman, professional stuntman. Started racing 35 years ago as the Ford Modified Saloon champion in the early 1990s. Did some motorcycle enduro racing as well. That's a slow BMW in the background. Try and pick up who that is. This car that Paul Bailey's racing, prepared by AB Motorsport.
There's the Cup class battle led by Shane Tweedy, the 36-year-old from Cambridge, in Swift Sport Challenge racer, ahead of Will Graham, 30 from Surrey. And there's one in the gravel, that is 28 Nathan Tromans in his compact. That's at Beckett's, isn't it? It's a bit slippery up there. The driver in his first season in a 2.8 litre car. He's from Staffordshire, and that means there's going to be yellow flags, but a different part of the race circuit now. There's the cup class battle. That's not changing at all really, and it really goes to show you don't need that many cars in your class to have a great race, because those two of the 3 cars that are here are absolutely nose to tail.
I can see in class 6 well, David Aspen now ahead of Paul Travers as well, so that has changed around for the class 6 lead. But there you say, that's the Shane Tweedy Will Graham battle for the class Cup class lead. That's the 37 car that's had a moment. That's Cavan Granger in his E46 330. He's spun around at Copse Corner, but gets going again. Where was he running? He was running in 10th place and second in the M2 class, of course.
Will Graham down the inside of Shane Tweedy at Brooklands Corner, and he goes through into the class lead. Slightly confused why Shane Tweedy's car's a different shape
Yes,
to the other.
maybe she should actually be in the Cup class. I'm not quite sure. We'll get confirmation of that. But anyway, that's where he's showing on the timing screen at the moment. 10 minutes of the race game. So we're only halfway through this race. We've packed quite a lot into it. Paul Cook leading, and Paul Bailey lapping in similar lap times to Paul Cook. So he's not really catching him at all. This is where we're looking now. That's David Atherton, isn't it? I think we're looking at there. So he is in the number 20 car, the E46 Compact. That's the car that is back now into the lead of Class 6, ahead of Paul Travers.
The race leader, Paul Cook, is well in the traffic now, isn't he, at half distance in this race. He leads by 6 seconds over Paul Bailey, but yeah, he's carving his way through the traffic and actually been quite cautious. The lead gap was halved in all of that, but now Paul Bailey's got to deal with it, so then the gap, you'd imagine, will extend as Paul Bailey works his way through this dice, and he's going to get the yellow flag, so he's not going to be able to pass these slower cars, at least in theory. That would be the case, and indeed Paul Bailey's hanging back, is he not? Yes, he is. So respecting the yellow flags, well, that means the gap will increase, and that's probably what happened to Paul Cook on the previous lap, so it will work its way out. The battle for third in the background there is pretty tight. Charlie Dark has Mike Eustace right behind him. Now Paul Bailey dives through the traffic. He's a stuntman. You shouldn't be doing stunts today, though, I'm afraid. And Paul Bailey has got a very damaged car because of that. And the innocent victim in all of that was 85 Michael Fiebig.
He says on his driver profile, if you see a car crash on TV, it's usually me. That's not the kind that he was looking for there. They're getting tangled up with the back marker. 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Paul Cook continues to lead. It's going to be Charlie Dark. Is it into second place again as a result of that? The 85 car has got its exhaust hanging off, it seems. Michael Fiebig after all of that.
Yeah, that's a bit too ambitious. Look, the car's falling to bits now. The Paul Bailey car, the left-hand door is falling off. It all feels a bit like a movie, this, doesn't it?
It does a little bit. A bit more than it should do, perhaps. Obviously, an experienced driver, though, is Paul.
Yeah, maybe not recently so much so, but of course the Ford Modified Supercar Champion, that was quite some time ago.
It's going to clearly get a black and orange flag for that, isn't it? With that door sort of half, well, it's not even half open, is it? It's fully open. You get a
not sure how much of it's actually holding on. No. It's Jason Rees who is ahead of him, so it is a battle for 5th position. But now the car's getting very smoky, isn't it, on the other side? And that's where the initial contact came from. So everything would be advisable to come into the pits at this point, I think.
Yes, you would think so. And getting the black and orange flag, but he'll feel the draft before he sees the black and orange flag, one would think. He's continuing, though, for the moment. We've got 7 minutes of the race left to go. Paul Cook now leading by 10 seconds over Charlie Dark. Mike Eustace third, Steve Schreikart fourth, Jason Rees of Paul Bailey.
Oh, and now Rees has got involved. It's Shane Tweedy he made contact with. They've both rotated. This has got all rather on BMW Car Club like, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's very little contact traditionally in this championship. We just see 2 bits of traffic contact. Well, I don't think the slower cars have done anything wrong at this point. It's the duty of the faster driver to get past safely, and unfortunately twice that's not happened.
Absolutely right. Theo Wood should say he's still leading in Class M2 in the number 81 car, well clear in that class of Kevin Granger.
The door went absolutely crazy as he braked hard into Brooklyn. It's not surprising, really, is it?
He does need to come in. He does need to come in. He's getting the black and orange flag now. Is he going to come into the pit lane this time? That door is absolutely hanging off. Is he going to dive to the right? I'm not sure he is. No.
The hinge that's held on is doing a good job, isn't it?
Strong things, these BMWs. Anyway, race continues. 9.5 seconds the lead now for Paul Cook. There's the 77 car. That is Paul Travers. He is currently 3 seconds behind David Asperton, but only just ahead of Andy Phillips. So that's the battle for second position in Class 6 that we were watching there. That's heading down to Maximbeton, naturally into a green flag zone.
Phillips was having a go, but doesn't go through. The driver from Cheshire, who originally raced on the short ovals, a former midget national champion, an ex-Legends racer on the ovals too, Andy Phillips. But hasn't been able to make that move yet. Watch out, guys, as they head down towards Brooklands Corner. They move aside, perhaps sensibly, because Paul Bailey is coming through, and Steve's right car doesn't see him coming. That got tight, didn't it? But Andy Phillips sees the opportunity. Round the outside he comes of Paul Travers. It's a second in the class. Paul Travers on the inside, on the outside is Andy Phillips, the Brands winner in the class. Not featuring today, is he? Max Bunting, is he not here? Perhaps that's the reason. Yeah, I don't think Max Bunting is here, is he? The class winner from Brands Hatch. So he's going to be a new class winner for sure. Paul Bailey and his door tries to find its way past Steve Schreitkart again at Cops Corner. That doesn't come off. He must be getting to the point where he's passed that black and orange flag 3 times now.
Yeah, it might turn into a black flag if that is the case, and that will be a rather more serious conversation with the officials if that is the case. I'm sure there will already be a conversation with the officials after that, and it is now black flag, just as we were saying, for car 38. Paul Bailey, the pole position driver who's managed to get himself in the wars in this race, but he's trying to push on still. He's in 5th position on the road, but may not keep on to that. Got very close again to the back of Steve Schreitkart into Brooklands Corner that time.
If you make contact with a car when you're in black flag, that's not good, is it?
Yes, that is the double, treble, quadruple whammy probably for the clerk of the course conversation after the race.
It's not been the return to racing for Paul Bailey that it could have been. I think it's fair to say. There's Kevin Granger then. He had that spin earlier, but he's still second in M2. I think he's just taken that position away from Bob Reed, the plumber from Leicestershire, who's making his debut, I think, today in the Tom Stanaway 328i. But there's Kevin Granger, former class winner in that machine. But Theo Millward's had a few people that tried to come and beat him, but it's not been successful yet, has it? The driver from Shropshire still leading class M2.
Kevin Granger going very deep into Brooklands Corner. They had a spin earlier on. Of course, there's some debris down from earlier contact as well to make the track even more hazardous.
Will Graham has got the Cup class lead by just a few tenths of a second still from Shane Tweedy. 3 minutes on the clock. Paul Cook's been, at least in terms of other class cars, has been pretty easy up front, hasn't he? Hasn't had the competition that he had at Brands Hatch, where he had that close race with Mike Hughes. This is a long way ahead of Mike today and leads by 9.5 seconds, the former MR2 Championship racer. Paul Bailey's done another lap, by the way. So this list continues to get worse for the ex-Ford man. There's Mark Colmer, a long-time BMW Car Club racer from Bedfordshire. Started racing this E36 M3 in 2018. He is running in 10th position today. And there he is, in that older machine, the 1990s car. He's got Mike Eustace diving up the inside. Well done to Mark for seeing him coming, because that could have gone wrong otherwise. But Mike Eustace, the double Brands winner, goes through just about at Brooklands Corner. Mark Colmer is just about live to tell the tale and continue on his way. Now here's Paul Bailey. He really ought to be coming into the pit lane now, but the previous laps that hasn't happened. But it might be this time.
Yes, we'll have to see. So we've got 1:40 left on the clock.
Oh no, he just passed the line a bit slowly.
Okay. There's Theo Millward. We've not seen much of Theo, the lesser spotted Theo Millward in this race, but he is still going great, done 7th overall as well, and beating Class M1 cars too. And that's that battle for second in Class 6 that we just saw going through as well. Still between Travers and Phillips, only a couple of tenths of a second between them. Paul Cook, I think he's about to go on to his last lap of the race here, isn't he? Turning his way through Luffield's 4th penultimate time, 6 seconds clear of Charlie Dark. So it looks like a pretty convincing win on the cards.
We haven't seen much of Paul Cook lately, which is quite remarkable for the colour scheme on that car. But it's been this dominant drive for the driver who won the M2 class in 2020. He's a former race winner in the MR2 Championship, actually finished 3rd in the championship that year. Very successful year 2020 for Paul Cook. in motor racing with the 750 Motor Club, but after being very close at Brands Hatch, he was the runner-up in round 1 to Mike Eustace. This has been it had been a dominant performance. His lead gap is coming down significantly on the last lap.
Yeah.
Charlie Dark was 3.5 seconds faster, so he's all well with the race-leading car of Paul Cook. They can see Charlie Dark just behind him now. The gap coming down all the time from Paul Cook to the chasing car into Brooklands corner for the final time for Paul Cook. There's Paul Bailey.
Finally, Paul Bailey into pit lane, but Paul Cook here, he's going to fend off Charlie Dark, I think.
Oh, the car's a bit stuttering.
It is a bit stuttering. You might not, you know. Up to the line they come. He's going to lose this on the run to the line, isn't he?
And is Charlie Dark going to get his first ever win in motor racing by taking the lead at Woodcote Corner on the last lap? He does. Amazing end to the race in a dramatic fashion. Charlie Dark's a race winner in the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. Paul Cook loses it at Woodcote. Hopefully the car wasn't running out of fuel. It was certainly stuttering through Luffield, and it was a slow previous lap for the erstwhile race leader. Mike Eustace is 3rd, Steve Schweikart is 4th, Jason Rees is 5th, and Ronan Bradley should be in 6th. But
I just wonder if it's a bit light on fuel, and maybe the fuel was running out and not quite getting through, something like that, that caused that late drama for Paul Cook. Yeah, lost the race by more than a second in the end from Charlie Dark. And Mike Eustace 3rd. Millward has yet to come through, but he's going to win his class, I think. And it looks like David Aspin, he's won in class 6, hasn't he?
But for 2nd in class 6, the gap was 15 thousandths of a second. And Andy Phillips did it on the line, so a drag race to the line. He beat Paul Travers by the tiniest of margins. That race went right to the end in so many different ways.
It did. It was really fascinating. Lots of drama, lots of incident. The clerk of the course is going to be hugely busy after that race, with lots of people to talk to. And, you know, I don't think I can take much more of this, Josh. I'm going to have to take a race off. I'll bring Joseph Black in for the next one, I reckon.
Yes, dramatic stuff from the BMW car. Could be many different ways. And we might hear all about that very shortly with Kieran McGinley down in pit lane. But let's have a look at the results first. We think a first ever win for Charlie Dark in cars. He was a 2nd ahead of Paul Cook. Mike Eustace was 3rd and Steve Schweikart 4th. Jason Rees in 5th and Ronan Bradley 6th. Theo Millwood did win his class ahead of Dan Smith. Paul Bailey won't be classified 9th. That'll go the way of Kevin Granger. Mark Coleman completes the top 10 ahead of Bob Reed. David Aston wins class 6 rather, ahead of Andy Phillips, who took it on the line in 2nd. Ahead of Paul Travers, then Ben Haynes and Warren Hales, Paul Laramie, Chris Blakey and Sergey Minev. Craig Emerson was next, ahead of the Cup class winner Will Graham. Shane Tweedy and Paul Neville complete their podium. They completed the finishers too, because there were dramas for Andrew Pywell, William Lake, Michael Thebig got shuffled out of the race too. Matthew Smith didn't finish, neither did Nathan Tromers. I think he was in the gravel. Michael Cook and Sean Foley too. There's a lot of work to be done, and not just in the stewards room, but in the paddock too, for the BMW Car Club, because that race at times was a little too dramatic. But that was all great news for Charlie Dark, as he saw Paul Cook's car slow through the final corner. He kept pushing all the way to the flag. It's not over till it's over, and for Charlie Dark, he became the race winner. And we should, with a bit of luck, catch up with some of our class winners from the BMW Car Club Racing Championship. And as Ian said, they'll be out at the end of the day. But how many of the 32 cars might be a different matter entirely. I can see Kieran is gathering BMW drivers, so we should hear from him right now. Let's head down to Kieran McGinley.
Well then, let's have a chat to the happiest man in Silverstone with a first race victory. Charlie, first of all, there's your hat. Pop that on for me. Congratulations. I mean, talk about ways to win in dramatic style. Right on the line there. I mean, talk us through that.
Well, I think we had a good start. I just think Paul may have lost a bit of power at the end, but yeah, I'll take it. It was good. So just sweaty. Nice and sweaty out there.
Nice and sweaty. I mean, there was plenty of battling, plenty to keep you on your toes. So how was the race from your end?
Yeah, really good, really good. We're a heavy car, so we struggle in braking and turning, but yeah, it's got a lot of power. So yeah, really good. Good race. Really enjoyed it.
We saw the embrace there as well. I mean, talk to us. How much does this win mean to you?
Oh, so much. It's actually my dad's car. We've been through hell and back with the car, but she's doing really well. It's all thanks to this man, Matty. He's done a mega job. So yeah, thanks go to him. So yeah.
Brilliant. And just talk us through it. First win. What a moment.
Yeah, it's good. Good feeling. Good feeling. So yeah, can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
What we're here to do, innit? So.
Absolutely. Well, Charlie, I'll go and let you celebrate. Congratulations on the victory.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We didn't have our second place driver, Paul Cook. I saw him drive all the way through, but we do have, I think, let me just check something, because we have the number 16, which I think was our Cup car winner, which was Will Graham. Now, if you were tuning in at the lunchtime, you would have seen Will Graham. We spoke to him at lunch. We're speaking to him again. Will, come around this side for me. Will, we spoke at lunch and we were talking about, what's going to happen, aspirations, and here you are, class winner.
Yeah, no, I'm really pleased to win the class. And it was such a close race with Shane the whole way round. We were going, really, really close battle. A few overtakes. He overtook me. I overtook him again. So I'm really pleased to have, just about keep ahead of him. And really enjoyed it. It was great.
I mean, plenty to keep on your toes all the way around you as well. I mean, what's it like out there?
Oh, it's really, you have to be careful of these quicker cars coming past. But here at Silverstone there's plenty of space, so we were able to race quite well. And really enjoyed it with Shane. It was really good fun.
Great stuff. I mean, we were talking at lunch about how you were saying this car, your car, is such a dream to drive. Was it proven the case as well today?
Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, no, it's been it's really good close racing this, so that's the main thing. Yeah, to have good close competition, that's what it's all about.
And 1 out of 4, I think, for people I've spoken to at lunch who've got a class win. So we'll see if we can keep that record up in the day.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, hopefully then we'll see how race 2 goes. Yeah.
Great stuff. Well, congratulations on the class victory in the Cup car.
Lovely. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. How are we doing on the track? I think we've got a bit of clearing up to do. We've got the number 20 here, which is David Aspden. David, well done to you. How are you feeling after that?
Relieved. After the disastrous debut at Brands Hatch, it needed to behave itself today, and fortunately, the hard work's paid off. We've thrown the parts bin at that car between then and now. Tested on Friday was good, it behaved itself, so put some reasonable times in. A little bit off this morning, but close enough to the front of the pack to challenge, and managed to make the most of the start. I think Andy's spin put a little bit of pressure on the other guys. Thread the needle and keep your head down and get on with it. The yellows, I was fighting with Mr. Travers, but the yellows paid to me getting a move on him for most of the opening session. But after that, it cleared up. Managed to get past him and head down and watch the pit board and count the seconds down to the checkered flag. So yeah, bit of debris on the circuit, but a trouble-free run, which is what I were looking for. And I wouldn't be here today without the help of my brother Paul and Andy and the rest of the family, Caroline and Phoebe, just making sure that we've got the time and the effort to put into the car. It's paid off. Need to do it again later on today.
Well, we'll let you go and enjoy this moment now before the second race, but good luck in it.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much. And with that, then, it's time for our next race. So let's head back to the commentary box.